You guys, welcome back to my channel. Refuge Tea here with my Granny's Closet, back with another video for you. How is everybody doing this midweek Wednesday? I am getting over an allergy cold. Yesterday was pretty harsh. I just slept all day yesterday. I didn't really do much. I finished connecting granny squares for the project that I'm working on with Andrea. And that was about it. I really didn't do much. I didn't even really watch TV. I just lied there and listened to an audiobook while I played Tetris. And in the middle of that, I was like nodding in and out. So, but I still do have a lingering headache. My T-zone is still stuffed up. It's just not as, it's more bearable. It's not as unbearable as it was yesterday. So I'm doing fine. How are you guys doing? What are you guys up to today? What are you working on? Okay. So on this episode of Vendors versus Farmers Market, we are going to talk about whether you should buy from other vendors or not, plus a little added tip and bonus info at the end of this video. So before we start today's video, let us get into some admin and intro stuff. If you don't know, now you know. You can find me on Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook, all underneath my Granny's Closet 3Gs. If you are interested in purchasing any of the items that I do make and sell at my farmer's market, you can find them on my Facebook page. That is where I have all my listings, all my photos, pricings, shipping information, and how I invoice. So if you're interested in just browsing some of the things that I do have there, then head on over there. I do have a group page called My Granny's Closet 3Gs. There's no spacing, just add the S at the end. That is where we go to congregate and conversate about all things yarny and crafty goodness. Now, we do have a Friday thing that we do. It is a finally finished Friday. I have neglected to post lately, but I will be posting my Sally on there on Friday. So it's where we finish up all the whips that we've neglected over time. So Friday is your opportunity to like put a redemption post, I guess. So anything that you finish that you've neglected over days, weeks, months, years, possibly, like me, I have tons that I've not finished over the years. And we post those on Friday. But if you just have pictures that you want to post of projects that you're working on, feel free to do that. We'd love to share if you found a new project and you want to share the link where we can purchase the pattern from. Go ahead and post that. If you have a question about a pattern or a vendor event coming up, we will answer those. We just ask that you don't post pictures of the paid for pattern. If you are new or returning subscriber, thank you for joining me today. You're wonderful. You're wonderful. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Get the golden hook for being a part of this crazy ladies channel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Oh, we have t-shirt of the day. I'm not going to get into the theatrics of my t-shirt of the day because I'm still not feeling well. And the longer I talk, the more my headache and the pressure is building right here. My nasal passage is starting to get all stuffy and my throat is starting to hurt a lot more. Yesterday I could barely talk. Today is a lot better. But we do have Mr. Oogie Boogie going on here. I do have shorts on, but I won't grace you with those presences. Look at the green. Okay, Ruby baby, cousin, where are you, Angie? We got some neon green Fila's. I bought these a while ago. I don't even know if I've shown you guys these yet, but I bought these maybe about, I want to say 2 months ago. No, let's see, when did August, September, October. Yeah, 3 months ago now, because we were buying clothes and stuff for the kids for school. And I saw these and I was like, oh my gosh, they were only 20 bucks. So I grabbed them. So I had to. Look at, they match my Oogie Boogie and they're neon green. So I have my neon green. Those are coming with me to Rhinebeck. All right, you guys, let's get into today's video. However, as you saw in my intro, I am making something with orange yarn. My mom's birthday is on Saturday, and I sold my pumpkin pillow, my last pumpkin pillow that I had out there, and she was like, no, she was so sad because she really wanted it. So I had 3 extra skeins of, let's see, Red Heart with Love, and it's called Tiger Lily. So I had 3 of these left. Perfect for a pumpkin pillow, right? It's 315 yards, 288 meters, 6 ounces, 170 grams. Like I said, Tiger Lily is the name. 100% acrylic, machine wash and dryable, 4 medium weight, 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, 5.5 millimeter needles, and that is the gist of it. I have 3 skeins of these, so I'm going to just start working on it while I talk about the purchasing from other vendors. This is, and there's a little part of it, but it's not anything major. But here are my notes. So let's get started. I've got my trusty little horsey corn yarn bowl here. Shove that in there really. All right, you guys, let's get into this. Now, I've already started on this because I had to take some time off to do something I had to edit, and then I found out that I missed a whole chunk of the video, so I'm re-recording this part of the video. So this, as a disclaimer, you guys don't have to take these rules that I have for myself or things that I hold true to me and hold myself accountable for. You guys don't have to take them and be like, well, Refuge said, this is a rule, we have to do it. Don't do that, okay? So don't take these rules and set them for yourself. Now, if you want to take my advice and some of these things, then yes, by all means, go ahead. But I don't want to be the one to tell you what to do. I don't want to be the one to be like, that's the rule, go abide by it all the time. No, that's fine. Don't. Just from my experience, guys, these are things, the rules that I hold true to myself. I'm just sharing them with you. All right. Let's get into it. So rule number 1 that I have for myself is that I bring extra cash with me. Now it's separate for when I'm making from the farmer's market, and separate from what I bring as far as making change for my customers that are paying in cash. Now I bring a set allowance for myself. I do bring card, and I do use Cash App, or I do use, now I have Zelle, but I only use that personally between me and other vendors. I don't use that as a means for other customers to pay for me. And that's for personal reasons that I'm not going to get into. But just bring an allowance for yourself. That way you have a set price and you're not going to go beyond that set price, and you will allow yourself to spend that much for each vendor that you want to purchase from. Now, it's going to be a little bit more difficult during the holiday season, because, or for when it's like, you know, any holiday. So you have birthdays, you have holidays, and you have special occasions, anniversaries and the like, graduations and whatnot. So I bring money with me separately to spend specifically for those things. Like if I want to buy fruit or vegetables or something for my household, then yes, I will take the chance and I will go over there, use my card, and I will pay the extra surcharge. Now that's the other reason why I don't like to pay in card, but I do just recommend that you pay in cash, is that because if you pay in cash, you avoid all those extra charges and all those extra taxing fees. Because if you pay in cash, it's just a one-way trip, you know, it's not, there's no extra fees behind it. It's just, here you go. All right, thank you. Let's be on our way. It's not a waiting game, you know, they don't have to take the time to run your card, let you know that there's a 50 to 75, maybe even $1.50 charge. Because I know there's vendors out there that do charge over $1 when they're charging a card. that is one rule that I have as far as payment wise and paying in cash. I prefer that over card because it's so much easier to exchange monies that way when you're supporting your local vendor. Rule number two that I do abide by for myself is, it's not generally a rule, it's just something that I like to do to get to know the vendors that are around me, to see who needs the support, to see who I would like to, you know, talk to and be friendly to. Now, I'm not a sociable person. I really am not. But I do my best to try. Like, it's so funny because I say that, but then my sister and her friends are like, "You're so good when it comes to conversating with people." And it's not that, it's that I'm really reserved, but when I feel like the person is acceptable of me and my, you know, over talkative behavior, I get comfortable and it just starts coming out. So that's my ADHD. I would like to say I'm an introvert, but I'm not. I would like to say I'm an extrovert, but I'm not. I'm just have that kind of outgoing personality but I'm selective when I present it to people. So as a rule of thumb, I go walking around browsing at everybody's vendor booths, and then I just look to see all the cool things that they make, because I'd like to see other people's craft. I like to, you know, watch them make it. So that's what I like to do. I like to browse and see other people's crafts, and it helps me to determine what I can afford. Now, if it's, like I said, produce or anything like that, and I can afford that, then that's from my separate account for my household. But my personal money that I bring specifically to support another vendor, it would be see who can afford. If you want to buy a gift for, say, Christmas, you know, and you're looking for something for your spouse, or something for your significant other, or for, you know, your mom or your sibling, you know, your parents, you go and you browse around and you check it out. So scout your vendor, you know, scout all of your vendors and see what they have. Find someone small to support, someone who doesn't have an elaborate setup like I do. I have an elaborate setup, but my friend Casey, she has a small one table setup, but she does an amazing job on all her stuff. It's not that my stuff is, you know, greater than hers because I have so much more. No, no, no. We're both different in our crafts, even though we both crochet. It's determined up to the customer whether they want to purchase items from my booth or whether they want to purchase from her booth. And she does completely different from me, because I do a bunch of different things and she does amigurumi. So anything that they'll find at her booth, they definitely will not find it at my booth. So I'm sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. So scout your vendors, see who you want to support, see you can afford what booth space, or what you can afford from somebody's booth space. Support your local food vendors. I know I've said before in my videos that, you know, bring your own food, bring your own snacks. It's costly to purchase from food vendors, but there's a reason. They own a truck. They own all the equipment that they have to bring there. They make the food just like we make our makes and crochet with yarn during the week. They prepare everything the night before or the morning of. They probably don't even sleep at night because they're prepping all their meats and all their vegetables and anything that they bring to create this amazing meal for you guys on the spot. And I'm like talking, it's not like we have weeks to prep a perfect pocket shawl or wild oleander hood scarf or any other shawl or large item that you make, and it takes you time, days, weeks to create an item. They create it for you within a time frame minimum that they set for themselves. And I know when I go, I specifically know who I want to purchase from for if I'm going to bring or buy food from a vendor. For a while there, I was stuck on the tamale lady. You know, she has these chili verde, so it's like green chili and cheese tamales that I just love, and she smothers it in green sauce. So delicious, right? Or we have Alfred, Ward's barbecue, that I gravitate to as well. His mac and cheese with the pulled pork is so outrageously good. It is amazing. And you guys know I have supported these two people. And the donut lady, Sweet Spot is the spot to go when it comes to the donuts. I purchase from all vendors. I try to at least get from someone every week. And if I don't get to them, then I can try another time. But I try to support my local small businesses because everybody is a struggling artist and everybody is a struggling small business owner right now. So MLMs are iffy for me. We're going to go into that one. They're a little iffy, but if it's so take for example, if it's a big, elaborate 3-table display and this lady is willing and dealing, or this person is willing and dealing, and there's a crowd around her booth space, everybody's like, oh, why don't, the crowd attracts more people. So everybody wants to go in there and see all the crazy cool stuff that this person has. But at the same time, what if they're a struggling MLM owner? What if they purchased this MLM package because they sold their vacuum, their toaster, and their blender because they were talked up a big game, and now they're stuck with all this merchandise, and they're struggling stay-at-home mom, and it's difficult for MLM people because I was an MLM owner. I still do own a bit of paparazzi jewelry, and I'm still a consultant because they still deem me on, but I haven't purchased anything for a year. But that's how I was. I wanted to be a contributing factor in our household. Small items that I was selling for my yarn business wasn't as lucrative as it is today. And mind you, it's not a giant booming business with my crochet. I know I could do so much more, but right now I do the bare minimum because I have so much to crochet. Social media with your small business takes a big chunk of your time, and advertisement is everything when it comes to your small businesses. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to do something that I didn't really have to advertise for. I just wanted to get a business card, pass it out, go to vendor events, sell my jewelry. And if you guys don't know what paparazzi is, the $5 accessory and jewelry company where everything's $5. It used to be nickel and lead free, but it's not no more. We used to sell kids jewelry for $1. We have Z necklaces that are the most extravagant necklaces that we have. Those are $25, but it's all costume jewelry. And I would always be like, okay, well, if you're going on vacation, the $5 jewelry is perfect for you to take with you, because if you lose it, it was just $5. Don't take your, big expensive costume jewelry, your $25 bracelet or your $150 bracelet from Zales or something. You gotta. So I understand the MLM perspective. I used to set up both my booth spaces, and I used to try and get people to come and be like, hey, have you heard of paparazzi before? MLMs are iffy for me. If I talk to the vendor, like I said, okay, so rule number 2, like I said in the beginning, it's scout your vendors. Talk to them. Get to know them. So if it's one person that has an elaborate setup like I do versus one person that has one table, like my friend Casey, then you want to talk to your vendor. You want to talk to them, get to know them, see who's struggling more, and I hate to say that. I hate to be like, oh, it's, this versus this, but that's reality. That's what some people look for to support. When you're a vendor and you have your own small business, sometimes money is few and far between, and you have to use it sparingly. So if you're trying to support another vendor, it can get costly. And you want to be okay with your money. So talk to your vendors, get to know them, and that will determine who you will purchase from. And rule number 3, do you discount or do you get one? And it's not a general rule for other vendors. It is an unspoken rule at the farmers markets. All farmers markets give each other or give each vendor a discount. So if I go over there and I say I'm a vendor, they'll be like, oh, okay, it's $2 off. So it's a general rule that we all have with one another. We all give each other $2 off. Now, if it's a vendor coming to my booth space and it's a large ticket item, yes, I will definitely take that extra $5 off for that vendor. It's not a big deal to me. Or they don't want to give me a disc, or they don't want a discount, because I've had people be like, no, let's pay the full price, because I've done that to people. And I've actually, you know, I'm not tooting my own horn, and you're not supposed to let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. But I tend to, when I know it's worth it, overpay, because I want those people to be supported. I want them to feel supported. I want them to feel how I feel when somebody does that for me. So if somebody does it for me, I feel like in turn I should do this because I was blessed. I would like to bless other people. And it's not a rule that I say you should do. It's just something that I do for myself, and it's out of courtesy. You know what I mean? It's out of courtesy for other vendors. So I give a discount, or I give a free item. If they don't want to give me if they want to go above and beyond and give me the full price or give me more, then I give them a free item. And then it's not going to be a costly item. It's going to be like a scrunchie, $5, or maybe a key fob for $10, depending on how much they spent, you know? And that goes for my repeat customers as well. But that's another, that's another video. So for regular vendor events, so that was specifically for farmers markets. So other vendor events, if you get to know the vendor next to you and you guys decide that, you know, oh, you want to support each other, yeah, by all means, give them a discount, you know, if you want to. It's up to your discretion. I'm not telling you that it's something that you have to do. It's up to you whether you want to give that discount or not. So I give discounts if it's somebody that I know from a previous vendor event that I've vended with. And is that a word? Vended? Vendor? Vended? I don't know. We'll just keep going. So it's going to be somebody that I sit next to if we have a good camaraderie going, if there's good talk and everything, you know, we're talking, we're having a good time, and they want to purchase something. Oh yeah. You know, I give discounts to vendors like that. So it's not a big deal for me to do that. And like I said, it's out of courtesy and kindness to your local vendors. But if it's somebody that is, you know, like asking for it, I will maybe be like, okay, you should kind of wait till I offer it as opposed to asking for one. Or if you be like, oh, my booth space is over there, you know, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go and take a look, you know, and I'll be, you know, you purchase from me, definitely. I'll go see what I can purchase from you. So it's kind of a give and take when it comes to purchasing from other vendors. You know, you can offer a discount, you can offer a free item. Make sure you give all of your social media contacts. If it's somebody who has a greater following than you and they promote you, then it benefits you. If you have a greater following than them and you promote them, then it benefits them. So it's a mutual, it's a beneficial thing for the both of you. And it kind of helps you guys both get your name out there, and it supports everybody. You have supported your local small business. They have supported their local small business. So win-win, right? All right. So that's it for the rules. This last thing that I stopped doing, I used to do all the time, but I was told by my friend, don't do it anymore because this is what happens. And it happened when I didn't listen to her. So it's not a rule, but it's generally something that I hold to accountable for myself. I don't trade with new vendors. Maybe vendors that I've known for quite some time, maybe the vendors at my farmer's market, I will see if I can trade with them. But generally, we don't do that. We like to support each other in that way where I'm like, okay, I'll pay the cash for this, and then they'll come into my booth space and they'll pay for something from my space. So it's different when you trade. So this woman comes into my booth space and I'm not feeling good. My husband is with me. I get altitude sickness. So I don't know what I'm going to do on my flight to New York. Oh my gosh. But that aside, so I was getting altitude sickness. I had to get a Coke. I'm sitting there. I'm uncomfortable. Lady walks in and she was just like, oh, looking at all my stuff, being extremely complimentary. She was gracious in that area and I appreciated it. I thanked her. And then she started talking about, oh, she loved this perfect pocket shawl that I had there on display. And she was just like, oh, my friend who's going, she just had surgery and then this happened with her and then this happened. And it was just a long list. And I was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. And, you know, me, I'm always like, oh, I'll pray. You know, what is her name? I'll pray for her. And she was just like, oh, well, I think I might get this for her. I was like, okay, well, it's up to you. If you want me to set it aside, I can. And then you can come back later and purchase. She was like, okay. And then she tells me, and she had that extremely assertive personality where it was kind of not in your face, but you could tell she was strong-willed and very like a matter of fact, and I don't want to say like non-filtery, because she was watching what she was saying, and but she was extremely assertive and very domineering, I guess you would say. I don't want to use that word, but I just did. So she tells me she has a booth space down the way, and I was like, okay, I'll go check it out. So I go, and you know what? I want to say there were paintings or some sort of artwork that she created, and so when I told my husband, I was just like, I'm just going to browse, and if I happen to see her stuff, I'll stop. You know what? I think it was like a metal art craft with some paintings and stuff that she was doing. It was eccentric, and it wasn't my kind of taste, and it wasn't for anybody that I knew that I could purchase it for or trade for. But she hadn't mentioned the trade yet. So I told her I would go over there, and I was under the impression that, you know, I was just going to look around, see if I liked anything, and if I did, I might be able to purchase something. But so she goes, oh yeah, look at this, and she starts showing me all these pieces, and she's telling me the background of each piece, and I was just like, oh, these are amazing. You're such a great artist, because yes, everybody is really good at their craft, but sometimes it's just not for you. And I was like, I don't, and then she brought something up, and she goes, oh, look at this. This took me such and such hours. I remember this day. I was having such a hard time that day. And then she gave me another story about difficulties, and I can't remember the specifics of it. I just remember that she was having a hard time. She was alone. It was raining, and she needed to get it out emotionally. So she did this abstract artwork with paint all over it, and it was her emotions, you know, on metal and a metal canvas. And so she did that, and I was just like, that's awesome, because I wouldn't even know. You know, I would just pick up an existing project and work on that, or read a book, or just lie there, you know, and wallow. So you are amazing for getting your emotions out and doing that. And she goes, so this is such and such amount of money. It was clearly more than my a perfect pocket shawl that she wanted to purchase. And she goes, would you be willing to pay the difference if I traded this for that? And I said, oh no, I'm so sorry. I can't do that right now, because it was a large amount. I want to say around $300. She was like, well, there's only this much. She was like, well, do you want to go down this much? I can go down this much, but that's it. I'm not going to go lower. And I'm like, no, I'm really sorry. I didn't bring enough to do that. She goes, well, how much have you made today? And now she was trying to determine it for me to purchase it with how much I made. And she was going to be like, I'm willing to, you know, and I'm not into doing that. You can't determine my cost for me and make that decision for me. She was making the choice for me, and she was trying to take it out of my hands. And she was like, well, here, take it, think about it. I'm like, no, it's okay. You keep that. She goes, well, I'm not going to purchase your shawl then. I said, that's fine. You don't have to. Then she became a little bit rude to me. And she goes, it's not a lot. I'm not asking for much. And I was just like, I get it. I do. I really do. But I'm sorry. It's not in my budget right now. I don't normally trade at all anyway. She was like, well, you should. That's how you spread your business around. And it was a back and forth thing. I was trying to be gracious about letting her down and not being rude about it, but she was being a little bit more than I was willing to take. So I was like, okay, well, you know, I apologize. I hope you do well in your booth space. And she was like, whatever. I was like, okay, you have a good day. Bye. So I get the notice from other vendors that I had purchased from actually, and they came up to me and they were like, hey, so-and-so is saying stuff. And she's saying this, that, and the other. She's saying that I didn't like her artwork, that I was talking to her, telling her that it was garbage. And she was saying that I was saying some crazy stuff. And they were like, first of all, you were so nice when you came into our booth and we saw you standing there talking to her, and we didn't see any of that happen. We just wanted to make you aware. And they even went to the coordinator and let them know that she was saying those things about me. And the coordinator came up to me. Now, I wanted to go up to the lady because I'm not the kind of person that just let things slide like that. I like to squash things head on, and I'm not a confrontational person. I will confront somebody for saying things like that because I like to shut it down and stop it and let it be known that, hey, that's not right. Don't do that. But the coordinator was just like, hey, I took care of it. Don't worry about it. I was like, okay, thanks. I appreciate it. I don't know what's going on. And my husband was like, maybe she's having a bad day. My husband is an extreme peacemaker. He is just like, he's a peacemaker. So that is one big reason why I don't trade, is because I've had several encounters over the years where I've had vendors come up and be like, oh, I want to trade this, I want to trade that. They took the option out of my hands when I first started out. And they were like, yeah, just trade this, trade that. And then I realized this lady had took too much. And I ended up with just a $10 item while she walked away with maybe like $40 worth of stuff from my booth. And I was just like, well, that wasn't okay. So I don't trade. Personally, for me, I don't. If you're going to spend money in my booth space, I'll spend money in your booth space, provided that those items are something that I can use or gift, But in general, as a rule, I don't. So, but I really didn't get much done in this pillow, did I? I was just talking way too much. All right, you guys. I know that this video is going to be a little bit shorter than normal, but that is okay. What do you guys do during vendor events? Do you trade? What rules do you have for yourself as far as purchasing or discounting, or other vendors buying from you? Or are you supporting other small businesses? What do you guys do in that area? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, you guys, that is it for me today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to ring that notification bell. Click on the all button. It'll notify you when I drop another video. You guys have a blessed rest of your Wednesday and a blessed rest of your week. And I will see you next time. Peace out. Okay, you guys, let's get into... What was that? Oh, no. Oh, no. It broke. Well, that stinks. It's all right. In that is, you bring cash. Since they have to have all kinds of insurances and the such and the like. I don't know how to count. I want something separate that you're going to use specific. I can't say specifically. Oh, now I can say it. Say legit, whatever, you know. 9, 10, 11, 12. I feel like watching I Love Lucy today. Again. I have to pay taxes for, this is bugging me back here. It doesn't matter whether you, it doesn't matter. All right, you guys, on this episode, today's video is, I just keep thinking of that 1990s, previously on Smallville, All right, so here we go. And bring cash. Now the reason, let me know in the comment section below. let me, no,